From the early days to present times, the Museo Nazionale dell'Automobile, the National Automobile Museum, narrates in a clear and evocative way the enduring link which unites automobile history to our society and culture. A narrative journey subdivided into 30 sections, which from the Genesis display, homage to the pioneers, carries right on through to modern times, with the technological evolutions of design, a workshop of ideas, talents, and inspiration. An incredible journey which begins on board the steam carriage that Virginio Bordino created here in Turin in 1854, at the height of the Industrial Revolution. Horses become ghosts, and the dream of moving increasingly faster becomes reality. In the workshops, at the beginning of the 1900s, fine craftsmen and gifted designers work side by side on the object of the future, the automobile, which within the first 10 years of its life was a luxury only a few could afford, a real travelling living room. Luxury, but also adventure. Like no one before, the epic Itala Paris-Peking tells, in those years, the story of an impossible challenge. But everything changes very quickly. War changes the cards on the table, and the crisis of 1929 creates economic and social turmoil that involves the entire world. But research in the automobile sector continues and actually experiences a new impulse. From the spread of the internal combustion engine to the automotive application of a science, up till then, prerogative of aeronautics, aerodynamics. Cars are soon produced in series and become more accessible to a wider strata of the population, without ever sacrificing the beautiful Italian lines. During the 1950s, bodywork design undergoes one of its most fertile periods. So much so, it becomes an actual school. They are the years of the economic boom, of the Fiat 600. But from society to the first waves of consumerism, and as a reaction to it, the social revolutions of the 1970s develop, with young people leaving to explore the world aboard the 2CV Citroën and Volkswagen campervans, symbols of that moment of adventure and anti-conformism, an ever more frenetic journey which crosses new wars and new crises, many of which are tied to petroleum. Automobile innovation cannot remain indifferent when faced with the need to preserve our planet and save ecosystems. During the 1990s, the world undergoes a total cultural revolution. They are the years of globalization and a return to nature, with new interests focused on the environment and a major attention towards our planet. Society finds itself at a crossroads. On one side, a grey, dark world made up of petrol, traffic, pollution, and decay, and on the other, a bright, clear world where energy comes from renewable sources and our lifestyles are compatible with environmental preservation. The journey continues on the first floor. There are various aspects which are the protagonists involved in producing a vehicle. We tread over the map of Turin to retrace more than 70 automobile companies which developed in the Piedmontese capital during the 1900s, the more than 80 bodywork laboratories, and still today, the centres of excellence in the fields of planning and design. And from the mechanical symphony of engines, wheels and car frames, a form of artistic expression, products of human creativity and inventiveness, we pass through to the exploration of serial production, experimented for the first time in America in the Ford workshops, eventually reaching the devices lined up along the walls, mediatic metallic totems recalling the concept of brainwashing, of which advertising is often accused. The car is folly, an exaggerated, grotesque and ridiculous love, and the roads are a jungle of signposts, reflecting the infinite restrictions and unnecessary rules which we must adhere to whilst driving as in life. At the end, in a sort of dreamlike yet enthusiastic ride in Formula, we find all the collection's racing cars from all eras coming together to race towards the finishing line. The end of the journey is a new beginning. Here is design, creativity at work, an idea which takes on substance thanks to application and teamwork. From the pioneers who during the 15th century studied to understand in what way we could evolve from physical animal strength, to the pioneers of today who work to create the dream vehicle that will be the symbol of the times in which it moves. Il Museo dell'Automobile, the Automobile Museum narrates a never-ending story in continual evolution, which has its roots in the past, yet speeds along towards the future.